everybody. Welcome back. This is the Align Your Health podcast, and I'm here with my wife, Ashley. I'm Dr. Ryan Berlin, and today we're getting back into talking about things that people think about chiropractic. So I've been practicing for almost 20 years, and I've collected these. They're like...
Little mementos.
Yeah, they're like Pandora charms right now. Or
oh
like
my gosh,
little...
that's an old... that's an old reference. I love it.
Or... what are the little things that kids were hanging on their backpack a year or two ago? They were like little stuffed animal people or little things. Yeah. Can't remember. Yeah. But anyway, they're like, you know,
like Nidos.
Yeah. Like right now it's the Nidos and the dumplings. And but I've collected these over the years, and actually they've become beanie babies. Yeah. This has become part of, as a chiropractor, you embrace these because you have to learn how to quickly answer them. So last time, if you missed out on the last episode, we went through, one of my absolute favorites is, you know, you're not a real doctor. We get that one typically online more than anything. Talked about that. And one thing I forgot to mention when talking about that was, when you break down a chiropractor's education and you break down a medical doctor's education, they're very similar. Hours-wise, they're very similar. We go to school for 8 to 9 years. They go to school for 8 to 9 years, depending on if they have a specialty. We're considered a specialist, so like an MD might go for 8 years, but like a specialist might go for another year or two after that. So we go for 9 academic years, and in that time frame, their clinicals are outside of school, so they go get a job and have to do clinicals. Our clinicals are inside of school, so we have to do them while we're at school. Hours-wise, near identical. I've seen charts that show one's a little more than the other, but we're talking, 3 and 4 hours. Theirs are displaced differently than ours, so they spend a lot more time on pharmacology, and they spend a lot more time on pathology. So pathology means disease, and pharmacology means drugs. So they spend more time on drugs and disease, which makes sense because that's kind of their lane. We take very little we take pathology, but not as much. We take almost no pharmacology, very little. We spend all those hours that they were spending there, we spend more of those in physiology, meaning how your body functions and operates. So a lot more physiology hours. And then we actually then go into more diagnosis, neuromuscular skeletal diagnosis, and x-ray. So that's kind of getting in our lane, and a lot more neurology too. So I think that brings us to the point where we, talked about that. But one of the things we hear from patients, because of their perception of chiropractic, is like, oh, so you guys like crack necks and backs. Chiropractors, you guys got to stop doing this, but I see it on advertisements all the time. It's like, got neck pain, got back pain. It's kind of like the got milk ads, the got milk, got neck pain, got back pain. And when I talk to people, I say most people know chiropractic for 3 things. Almost everyone. If I say chiropractic, you're going to think of one of 3 things: neck pain, back pain, or headaches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we want to get into like why chiropractic is so much more than just neck pain, back pain, and headaches.
It's so much more than that. Right. Yes. And I still need a really good, example of the usage of like just using something for, one. It's like going and getting in your car and not ever driving it anywhere, but using it to like have a, air conditioning moment or just something like that, where it's like, you're not using it for what it really is, like for what the beautiful part of it is. Yeah. And the wild thing to me is that like, my story with chiropractic has been really interesting in that, I came in because I had a rib out of place. And then as I stayed over the years, so many things changed and so many things were healed in my body that I wasn't expecting. In fact, I talked about it with someone.
A team meeting. You were telling our team at team meeting that your prescription had changed by a couple points when you first started getting adjusted.
Yes. In the first couple years of my adjustments. I mean, it wasn't the first couple adjustments. It was literally, I was under care for like 2 years. And then I went into my annual eye exam and my eye doctor was like, this is wild. Like your prescription got better by 2 points. And really it was just my eyes healing.
Yeah.
And it was like all of the things in your body. And at no point in time was I like, I'm coming in for my chiropractic adjustments today.
For my eyes.
This is my eye adjustment.
And I think it's a great statement to say, like, you still wear glasses, you still wear contacts. Like your eyes aren't 100% better. Your eyes were really bad. You had a prescription that was really bad.
Yeah.
But there was improvement and there was healing, which I love about that, because not only does it mean that it got a little bit better, but it means it stopped getting worse.
Yes.
Like that's the biggest thing.
Yes.
When patients come in, a lot of times they're in pain. They are in pain. They're having neck pain. They're having headaches. They're having low back pain. That's the number one reason people see chiropractors is neck pain, back pain, and headaches. Now, that being said, our job is to take them from that point and go, all right, I understand that you're concerned about your neck pain, back pain, or headaches, but when the doctor gave you this medication or whatever, did they tell you why you're having neck pain, back pain, or headaches? And often the answer is no. I just assumed like something's like pinched or hurt or whatever. Yeah. In fact, sometimes they'll even tell the patient, you have a pinched nerve, here's an anti-inflammatory. Say, okay, is the anti-inflammatory going to unpinch the nerve? Like you take the pill and it's like the Matrix, like there's like a little robot that comes out of the pill and goes and like starts doing work on the nerve. No, that's not how it happens.
Okay, that is such a good point. I mean, really, like when you think about it.
It does nothing to fix the problem.
It does nothing to fix the problem.
It's the equivalent of duct tape over a check engine light. Mm-hmm. So, for any of those of you guys driving around and your check engine light comes on, that's there. It's a warning sense to tell you, hey, there is a problem. And the solution to that problem is you need to go see someone and they need to tell you what's causing the problem. Now, sometimes the check engine light comes on and you're like, I don't know, everything feels like it's driving fine. Sometimes the check engine light comes on and you're standing on the side of the road and you're like, yeah, no crap. Thanks a lot. You could have turned that on sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes like the problem is like right there along with the warning sign. But if that check engine light comes on and you ignore it for too long, you're headed towards something that's not going to be good. And to take a drug is like taking masking tape or duct tape and putting it over your check engine light. It gets rid of the warning sign. You no longer feel the problem, but the problem is going to manifest because you've done nothing to correct the original damage. So what chiropractors do is, number one, when you come in, you go, hey, I'm having back pain. We go, all right, let's find the fundamental underlying cause of your back pain. Yep. Is there something in your back that's wrong? And if so, sometimes we even go one step deeper and go, what's causing that? Mm-hmm. So they go, oh, you have back pain. It's probably a pinched nerve. We go, you have back pain. Let's check it out. Oh, look, there's a pinched nerve. What's causing that? Mm-hmm. Oh, your lumbar curve should be 40 degrees. Yours is 20. And L4 and L5 should line up real close so that the backs of them are lined up. And your L5 is back 4 millimeters behind L5 or whatever, L4 behind L5. So what we need to work on is, number one, correcting that subluxation segmentally. And number two, getting this curve healthier. This is going to take 6 weeks. It's going to take at least 6 weeks to get this changing.
And I remember,
but at least we went down that road and said, here's what we found. And patients go, oh, wow, well, the doctor just gave me an anti-inflammatory. It's like, yeah, you'll feel a little bit better potentially, but it's doing nothing to correct the problem. And say you feel better and you continue working and exercising on that. Is that going to get better or get worse while you're feeling doped up from the anti-inflammatory? They're like, oh, probably worse. Like, yeah. So that's why I don't love people taking medication strictly to get out of pain so they can keep living life. I get it. Sometimes the pain is unbearable, but if you're just doing it so you can go about functioning, you'd be better off working on getting to the cause and correcting the cause.
Right. And when you're in it, I mean, we've had conversations before when I've been in it with coming in, getting adjusted, and having, some sort of repeated subluxation or something going on that's like, it's repeatedly happening. And then even diving into, okay, so on a day-to-day basis, when I was personal training clients, I remember I really had to focus on not lifting everybody's weights with my right hand. It was like, oh, every single time I lifted somebody's weights and I was changing out, changing weights on the dumbbell, bringing them over.
I was talking to a client the other day, or a patient the other day who she has clients. She's a personal trainer. And we were talking about that. Like, it's not your workout. She works out 5 days a week, sometimes a couple hours a day. Like, it's not just your workouts. It's all the weights that you move for other clients. And she goes, oh, no, Dr. Ryan, I stopped doing that. She goes, they're here to work out. It's 1 hour. They can move their own weights.
They can move their own weights.
She's like, I'm not doing all that all day. I got my own workouts to worry about. And I was like, that's very wise.
Good for you.
It's very wise, because one of the things we talk about with patients is, and they go, hey, once I go to a chiropractor, we were talking about this on the last episode. Once I go, I'm going to have to go for the rest of my life. And I think what it is about chiropractic is once you start going, you never don't want to go. you've gotten the taste of what it's like to live life when you get adjusted. We call it being well adjusted. Yeah. When you're well adjusted, you have a desire to feel like that all the time and heal like that all the time. People sleep better. They come in and they're like, and I'm like, is anything new or different today? Anything bothering you? No. They're like, I can just tell I need an adjustment. And I'm like, okay, so nothing's hurting. No, but I traveled last week and, I do feel a little bit tight. I don't know. I just know that when I leave here today, I'm going to feel like very different. And it's funny, you adjust them. And you used to say this, your favorite 30 seconds to a minute are immediately after an adjustment.
It's so good. It's so euphoric and it's so wonderful. And it's like the same endorphins that you get after you work out.
And it's true. There is that. And because there's this release of things, people have often thought, is it placebo? Do I just feel good because of that? No, it's part of the added bonus. So when you get adjusted, number one, ideally we're correcting subluxations. We're moving vertebrae that are stuck to get pressure and interference away from nerves. That's it. Number two, research from New Zealand has showed that when that pressure comes off those nerves, and not only are you getting pressure off the nerve, but the adjustment itself is a positive stimulus into that area. It'd be like, your thumb is stuck in a door and I open the door. Two things happen. One, now your thumb's not stuck in the door. And number two, releasing the thumb from the door was a positive experience and a positive stimulus. Yeah. Your brain actually pays attention to that. What they've shown is that the brain actually functions, and we see improvements at the level of the brain, especially in the prefrontal cortex of the brain, where you do thinking, actually has improved over time with chiropractic care. And the longer they measured it, they continued to see improvements in the brain. So number one, pressure off the nerve, you're healing better. Number two, your brain's functioning better. Number three, there is a release of substance P, endorphins, enkephalins, all these chemicals that they're feel-good chemicals. Right. They help reduce pain. They help you feel good. There's, to some degree, there can be even a little bit of dopamine release because it's something you're looking forward to, and there's the reward aspect of it, like, oh, I get to go to the chiropractor. You lay down, and then you get adjusted, and you feel the release of these other substances, and then all of a sudden your body also releases some dopamine with that too. And so there are some very positive aspects that make people feel great. But
yeah, and I think that's a big thing too. Like what you're saying is that
reward,
in the taking of the pain away. I think that our bodies are so amazing, and our bodies can learn to adapt to a level of pain that you just it sort of dims in the background. So I had a rib out of place for 8 years. Anybody who's had a rib out of place, it's excruciating.
Yeah, you can't even take a full breath.
You can't even take a full breath. But for 8 years I had it, and my body just learned to adapt. So when that rib was finally back in place, it was unbelievable. Yeah. It felt so different.
Yeah. Sometimes we don't know how bad. It's like the proverbial, slowly turning up the heat in boiling the frog, right? Mm-hmm. That analogy is, you put a frog in a pot, and if you slowly turn up the heat, the frog will stay in the pot until eventually he dies. You take a pot of boiling water, throw a frog in it, and his reflexes are so fast, he'll jump out and not die. Same temperature, it's just turning up the water slowly. So in our lives, that turning up the water slowly is your posture. It's sitting at your computer. It's a collection of minor to maybe significant traumas that you've adapted to over time. It's sports injuries, all these things, but then they're compounding, they add up. And then I think most people don't know how bad they feel until they feel good. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes they're walking around and they're miserable and they're thinking, well, I just have a high pain tolerance. I just rub some dirt on it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You got to keep on keeping on. These are all things I hear all the time. Yeah. Dr. Ryan, you got to keep on keeping on. Why? Do you have any complaints? Nope. Why would I? Nobody's listening. These are the things that people say, but sometimes they just don't realize that that's not how life was meant to be lived, and that chiropractic is just one of the best tools of kind of unwinding that stress or that trauma that's occurred over time. So we start getting people adjusted, and especially the people who are consistent through those first couple months. And we get through their corrective care, and we're able to see their x-rays looking different, or, frequently I go, what would it take? This is a question I ask patients all the time. What would it take for you to stop getting adjusted? And sometimes they've never thought about that. And they're like, well, and it goes to like what, finances or schedule maybe. But most people will say, oh, I never want to stop getting adjusted. No, like never. This has been transformational. This has been amazing. This is Dr. Ryan. I'm sleeping so much better. I'm healing better, whatever. But here's the thing I'll tell you is that I've been a chiropractic patient since I'm 45 years old this month. And I've been a chiropractic patient since I was 8 years old. And never in my life since I was 8 years old have I ever thought about not being a chiropractic patient, or you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think what happens is people, now obviously I at a certain point knew I was going to be a chiropractor, so you can't be a chiropractor without being a chiropractic patient. Sure. But I think at some point people haven't hit that identity yet. Chiropractic is just something they're doing for a treatment. It hasn't become part of what they do for themselves. Right. So once you go to a chiropractor, you got to go for the rest of your life. Once you go to the gym, you got to go for the rest of your life. Once you start eating healthy, you got to do it for the rest of your life. Once you start, I don't know, breathing air, you got to do it for the rest of your life. Once you wash your hair, you have to do it for the rest of your life. You actually don't. See how that works out? No, I mean, once brushing your teeth, see how that works out. Yeah. But here's the thing. I think that people do what they value. Actually, people say what they believe, but they do what they value. Yep. And, most people leave the house and brush their teeth because it's a value to them, not just that they have clean teeth, but that people don't like shy away from them when they're trying to talk. Most people, shower because they don't want to be off-putting. When it comes to chiropractic care, the value isn't just you like getting adjusted. It's why has it become part of my identity? So, the people who work out 7 days a week, why do you work out 7 days a week? Mm-hmm. Is it because you want to look good in a mirror? Is it because you like how you feel when you're working out? Is it because there's a deeper belief that you think you want to do something proactive so you don't end up going down the road that so many people go down with, like cancer and heart disease? Did you lose someone in your family that was out of shape and didn't exercise? Is everyone in your family out of shape and you're the only fit one and maybe that's keeping you doing it? But typically there's some underlying reason. And what I'll tell you is our patients that go through corrective care, they typically get to a point, or we're asking them, why do you get adjusted? Mm-hmm. Why do you get adjusted? And we help them come up this hierarchy of like, I was in pain, you helped me. Well, you're not going to be around very long if that's the case. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to stick around because I don't want to go back to being in pain. Okay, that's great. It's better. But again, you won't be around very long because the second you come up against something schedule-wise, you're going to cancel and we won't see it for a few weeks. But then you get to the point where you're like, Dr. Ryan, I sleep better. My sinuses don't bother me. When I get adjusted, not I got adjusted, you corrected me, and now my sinuses are great. Some people do that, and then they come back a year or two later, and they're like, guess what? Sinus problems are back. Yep. But it's like, no, regular care keeps my sinuses functioning normally. Mm-hmm. And but then you get to this level of optimization where you're like, I'm just better under chiropractic care, and therefore I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And then you get to the level where a lot of families get where it's like, I want this for my kids. Mm-hmm. I want this for my wife. I want this for my grandkids. We have a guy that I've been taking care of for 15, 16 years. And he has paid for his newborn grandkids to come in and start care because he paid for all of his kids to get adjusted, their whole, youth through college, everything. And then when they graduated, those kids, it was a value to them. They came in, they started getting adjusted as adults, and then they had kids. And he's like, hey, I want to pay for your kids to go get adjusted. So now they bring in their kids. It's pretty awesome. When you experience that side of chiropractic care, you want it for everyone. And so I think that's another thing is why it's kind of like CrossFit. Why do chiropractic patients talk about chiropractic all the time? Why did my friend who goes to a chiropractor invite me to a dinner hosted by her chiropractor? Why can I not turn on Facebook without seeing my friend's chiropractor? We were talking about it the other day. Yep. The magic Facebook machine listened. Yeah. And now all I can see is her chiropractor plastered all over the internet. And the reason why is because chiropractic patients, when they get it, they want it for everyone because it's hard to experience that side of life and not want to see other people experience it also. I think that's it. I think those are some of my favorite ones, some of the ones that frequently We don't get a chance to go at them in that length. So if you guys are looking for a chiropractor, we'd love to be your chiropractic office. Go to alignhealthcenter.com, click on schedule an appointment right there on that screen. If you're looking for a chiropractor and you're not in our area in Butler or Warren County or in the greater Cincinnati area, send us an email at info@alignhealthcenter.com and we'll help you find a great chiropractor.